Hey everyone, you are watching a Mosaic Moment with Paige. If this is your first time watching a Mosaic Moments video, welcome. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to create a looped border with the Looped 2x2 die set. This set comes with 3 dies. Before this video, we'll only be using these 2. This one right here is what we'll be putting in each corner on the grid paper. And the one I'm showing now will be put along all the edges. And you'll see how it looks in the end. It looks really neat. This die right here can be placed all the way around the edges if you want to. It also can stand on its own as a decorative embellishment. So all 3 dies can be used for all kinds of different designs. But today I'm going to show you one where you can do it all the way around the edge of the grid paper. As you can see, I already cut 3 photos. I did this with the basic die sets, and I used the Twilight 12x12 grid paper. That's from the Ombre collection. You can get all these items and check out this Ombre collection on our site snapandcrop.com. Alright, so before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be updated on upcoming tutorials. And also be sure to leave us a comment and hey, let us know what you think of this page after we're done with the video. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, first you want to use a punch or the 2x2 square die in set A, or even you can even hand cut the squares if you want to, and place them all around the edges. You can do this with patterned paper or cardstock. So basically this just is an easy way to cover your grid paper, and then you're going to put the loop dies, the die cuts on top of them. I wanted to keep the ombre look in my looped border, so I'm just using the back of this Twilight paper, which is nice because there's grids on the front, but I can use the back to decorate my pages. Right now I'm just gluing them on the grid paper, so this is a pretty easy task to do, as you can see. So you just gotta get all the squares around the border, and then we can make the looped dies. So I'm going to finish this up, and next you'll see the die cut machine. Alright, so now I'm going to get started with the cutting. First I'm cutting the corners of, well, we'll call it the corner die from the loop set. And you will need to get the frame out. The cardstock gets stuck in the frame, and so you have to pull it out with the tweezers. And I'm just pointing out how it's open, and that's your paper is going to show through there. Now I'm going to cut with the more decorative die. So I'm just trying to get it on there. Sometimes those magnetic plates are a little tricky. Now I got it through the machine, and again I'm just taking my excess pieces out. I'm using my tweezers to get the frame part out. I'm just pointing out the little holes. So you poke it through one of them and carefully pull it out. It could get bent or ripped, so pull it out of the die carefully. So I know there is a lot of cutting. You actually have to cut 16 pieces altogether to make this loop border, so I'm going to show you a couple tips. Right now I'm just showing how you can cut with both dies at the same time, which is handy for getting it done faster. So here I'm just using my tweezers to get the frame part out again on both of them. But yeah, at least you can cut 2 at the same time. My second tip is to actually cut 2 pieces of paper at the same time. Now some papers are very thick and may not work with all papers. For the most part, I think it will. You just want to make sure you roll it through the machine at least twice, maybe even 3 times, to make sure it cuts all the way through. And right now I'm just trying to get both of my pieces out. And there's 2 pieces. Alright, so all my pieces are glued on the back. And I'm putting in the corners first. So I'm putting in this one on the top left. You want to make sure that the curved corners are placed in the right direction, or else the loop parts won't line up correctly. So you want to pay attention to how they're placed. Such as this one, I made sure the corner part was placed in the top right corner. And here I'm going to make sure it's put in the top left corner of this square section. And now I'm going to start putting in the loop corner, or I should say the loop die cuts. And they're going to go around all the way around the edge. So it's pretty simple to stick it on. You can also put these directly on the grid paper and then fill them in. But for this page, I just went ahead, obviously earlier, and cut the squares beforehand. And you can use one color cardstock, but I use 2 different ones to have a more interesting look. Alright, so now I have my entire loop border in, and it actually looks really good like this. I could keep it this way. If you had patterned paper behind it, this would be done, and it looks really great. I'm going to do a little more of an advanced look in a moment with some photos, but I could be finished if I wanted to. But I'm also going to show you how to fill in some of the loop part with photographs. So now I'm going to get started with the cutting, first with the corner loop die. So for the loop dies, for this particular project, I recommend using detail photos like flowers, or I'm using vegetation that was shown around the theme park. You also want to make sure when you cut with your die, some of my photographs, I want it to be in the correct direction, so I want to make sure my corner or my loop, whichever one I'm cutting with, is in the right direction that I want it to be on the page. Such as this one, I put the die on, well, I'm trying to put on the die machine here, but the magnets give me a hard time. The loop is in the direction that it's going to look on the page. So the loop-de-loop part, it's going to be on the right side, and so I'm going to pull out those parts. Here I'm filling it in. There's my corner piece I just cut. And now, so you see I have the actual die with me, and that's because I don't want to lose the pieces. It makes it easier to fill it in, and I already glued down within the loop. So it's just easy to stick each piece on. So I went ahead and cut all the pieces I need to, and now I'm just going to take the time to fill it in. I know it doesn't go quite this fast, but anyway, so again, I'm going to stress to make sure that the die is pointed in the right direction. See here how the curly parts on the left side of the die. So you want to make sure that you cut in that direction on your photograph so little items aren't upside down or sideways when they get put on there. Now some photos it may not matter, but for these ones there are some objects that might look funny if I put the pieces in sideways or something. So but yeah, it's really handy to put the glue down just within the loop, because then it's just fast to just stick each little piece on there. And there's my last corner, and I'm done. So here's the final result. I love how it turned out. It looks amazing, especially on this ombre paper. It looks magical. What I love about this die is it can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be. Either way, it looks beautiful with your photos and makes a lovely border. So be sure, since we're at the end of this video, make sure to comment and let us know what you think about this layout. So I hope you enjoy creating amazing pages with this die set at home. Thanks for watching, and see more on mosaicmoments.com.